My one-hit wonders are not doing well, but I'm making another one, cause why the hell not? Welcome, I am Emir, and let's look back in hindsight. Join me in another one-hit wonder? Somewhere, there's an alternate universe where the Beatles-inspired band that became big in the 1990s wasn't Oasis. In that world, their Wonderwall and Don't Look Back in Anger would be There She Goes and Timeless Melody. But that's not the world we live in, obviously. Instead, we have Noel Gallagher of Oasis claiming that, quote, he set out to finish what the loss started, unquote. Why is that? A lot of videos have been made about the loss already. So how's this going to be different? Simple. Those videos talk about the sound of the album, or how Lee Mavers was so mystic and too much of a perfectionist, aiming for that 60s sound. No. I'll be focusing this time on the lyrics. Are the words as timeless as the melody? Or as Lee Mavers put it in Timeless Melody, even the words they fail me, or I mean him. First, a short background. What's with that name? How did Lee become Lass? Well, it didn't. Mavers didn't even start the band, which came from Liverpool. Coincidence? No. A curse? Maybe. Did they like the Beatles? Well, they explain it here. Mavers eventually became the leader of the band. I'm just a living legacy of the leader of the band. Another one-hit wonder? Okay, I'm getting sidetracked. Back to Mavers. The Lost got signed. They recorded an album. Correction. They tried to record an album. But Mavers didn't like what the three producers made. Finally, the label got fed up. If I were Todd in the shadows, I'd say the label got fed up with them dicking around. But I'm not Todd. The record label asked the last producer to finish the album, and thus, the self-titled album. I wonder how much the marketing department got paid for that brilliant name. Probably none, because Mavers immediately disowned it. John Power, bassist, explained that the last producer was, quote, poppy and simple-minded, unquote, while the last were, quote, a little bit more rootsy. I wonder how much he agreed with Mavers. I do wonder if he really agreed with Mavers. Or maybe he just didn't want to get fired. I don't know. Still, even after disowning the album, the band toured to promote it. They went to Japan, where I don't think it was a hit. They went on David Letterman's show with Paul Schaefer and the rest of the late night band playing with Power and Mavers. This was before Letterman left because of the whole late night fiasco of 1992. Let's take a look at the lyrics of the album. Son of a Gun is about someone who had a rough life. Maybe growing up in the streets. Who lived upon a knife. Kapit sa patalim in Filipino, meaning having to survive every single day. The BBC article I keep on flashing says, quote, the lyrics on The Loss hint at a soul unhappy with his situation, unquote. But surely, that last line does not hint of sadness, does it? Quote, he was born to live like a mercenary. Well, personally, I think that's fine if you're in the right mind, unquote. It speaks of contentment. Or, maybe this is Mavers' commentary against selling out one's artistic integrity, making this song ironic. Who knows? I Can't Sleep sounds like the 1960s. It's about, hello, Captain Obvious. I can relate to this song. I'm in a bad mood every time I can't sleep. Every time I'm insomnia. Interesting? Or interesting how this song describes in poetic terms how it feels not to be able to sleep. Big black car or cloud for eye bags. Fun fact, when asked if this song ripped off The Who's I Can't Explain, Maverick said these two songs were completely different. Unlike She Came Down, Another The Last Song, and Wonderwall. Yes, Oasis looms large in the last story. Timeless Melody is my favorite song from the album. It's about keeping an open mind. Why? Because you might just have a eureka moment. Get that perfect riff, or solo, or chorus, or melody. Even if words, lyrics are hard to come by. Or here's another interpretation. If you can't find the words to say, that doesn't mean you have no voice. Speak through music. Liberty Ship uses the metaphor of a liberty ship, for I have no goddamn clue. Look, I know this album is considered one of the greatest of all time. Maybe that's because of the sound of the album. Because I have no idea why a song about a liberty ship would be considered great. Nice use of irony though, Slave of Liberty. Someone on the last forums said this song is a sea shanty. Yeah, enough said. The ocean metaphor continues in Doldrum. What is it with the loss and water? This one is an inspirational song. Get out of Doldrum. Doldrum, where sailing ships sometimes get stuck on windless waters. And Dole Drum, living on welfare, on doleouts, with no job or source of income. Kind of hard to get out of Doldrum right now though. Feelin' is about a eureka moment. After hitting into a brick wall, finally you get a breakthrough. Again, I don't get people calling this album a cry for help. This track is a happy feel-good song. Way Out is a battle cry for again, breaking through, moving forward, making it big, reaching your dreams. I like the flamenco-like music. IOU is a Take That, a protest against taxes. Quote, I owe you, you owe me, I know you can stand on your own 2 feet. Unquote. Get it? Because government can continue to exist even if you don't pay taxes. Disclaimer. I'm legally bound to say, pay your taxes. But, taxes shouldn't be too burdensome on the people. According to genius.com, quote, Lost frontman Lee Mavers dug deep into his socialist working-class Liverpool roots to pen this ode to collectivism and mutual responsibility. Unquote. Insert Goodbye Lenin here. Okay, I know, communism and socialism are different, but, they're both to the left, so, okay. Freedom Song is another Take That. This time, on religion. Maybe. Why focus on the afterlife, which may or may not even exist? Why not live in the moment, in the present instead? Failure uses a childhood story to describe something profound and universal. We try to hide our failure, to run away from it. But then eventually we have to face it. This song uses the metaphor of failing a school test or getting a failing grade, and the shame of having to give your parents the bad news. Asian parents surely won't take that well. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Looking Glass reminds me of the Beatles and other Beatles-inspired bands, especially with that long track time. The last song of the album, yes, is a cry for help. Maybe. A desire to find out who we really are. Do we just fulfill other people's expectations of us? Or do we chart our own course? Just like Jim Hawkins. It's a self-reflective piece, with the ending building up to the best way guitars can mimic a mirror being broken to pieces. Again, just like that other long track. I like pointing that out. OPM, original Filipino music, Pinoy music, Filipino music. Once again, take notes. No need to be stuck on a breakup hangover loop. There are more topics to talk about, more stories to tell, and there are many ways and metaphors to convey those stories. The Last the album is enjoyable to listen to. This is no sad album. The songs are again mercifully short, and there is no attempt to make the songs connected to each other. No, this is no concept album, so the songs can stand out on their own. Now let's talk about the hit. Or not hit. Welcome to another orig or original versus remake or cover. Yes, There She Goes has many versions. And no, I'm not talking about Sixpence None the Richer's cover. I already talked about that before. Mavers is too much of a perfectionist that he recorded 3 versions for the album. Let's compare the Mike Hedges version, the John Leckie version, and the version that ended up in the album under producer Steve Lillywhite. 1. Let's just get this out of the way. No, this song isn't about drugs. Unlike that other Beatles-inspired song. 2. The last version, well, I prefer that over Sixpence's. I was singing the Sixpence version in a videoke during New Year's Day at home. And I gave up halfway because it was just damn too long and repetitive. It just went on and on and on. Some things are better short and sweet. But which versions by The Lost do I prefer? Simple. The version they played at Tea in the Park in 2005. Listening to this version, I think I understood why Mavers hated the versions recorded for the album. Maybe he did not want a sentimental happy sad song. Hey, that's just me though. The Lost have a lot more material for a second album. But that never came. According to Mavers, 15 years later, quote, "We are recording some new songs, but the plan is to re-record the first album." Unquote. Power left the band to form Cast. But The Lost and Mavers didn't disappear completely. They've come back a few times. Tea in the Park, for example, in 2005. Even went back to Japan. Though I'm still pretty sure they're not big there. So, was There She Goes a hit? Nope. Only peaked at 49 on the Billboard Hot 100. Sorry, I don't make the rules. Do you want me to look at other The Lost songs? Or maybe even the work of Power's band Cast? You can request an album review on Patreon. Please like and share this video across social media. Subscribe and ring the bell. Check out other In Hindsight videos. I'd appreciate if you'd watch my older one-hit wonders. Support the show on PayPal, on Patreon, or on Brave Rewards on Brave Browser. Thank you to my sibling G-G Arts for my avatar. Check out and support her work by clicking the links in the description. Thank you for watching. Stay safe and take care.